Hey, this is Russ from CrafterCMS, and today we're going to take a look at audience targeting in CrafterCMS. And we're going to use the editorial blueprint as our example because it's available in the marketplace and it covers a lot of the basics of the machinery that drives personalization and targeting within Crafter. So to start, let's take a look at what this particular blueprint provides. So you can see here at the top it says Howdy Stranger, so it sort of assumes that we're an anonymous user at the moment. And if we scroll down, you can see that we've got some featured content here. That's what it says, featured content. And you can see that there are articles for male and female styles during winter. And so it doesn't know who the user is, so it's presenting all of the content. And presumably, if we knew if the user was male or female, we could then present a more specific view for them. Now, how do we do that? Well, in CrafterCMS, we have a couple of different parts of the solution. The first is starts with content. So we can create content and tag it with metadata that we can use to drive personalization and targeting. So let's take a look at that. So if I turn on editing here and I hover over this article for women's styles for winter and then click on the pencil. And if we scroll down here, we can see some of the content, but we also see a section on metadata where we see categories, segments, and featured. So this content is on the homepage, so it is featured. It's an article about style, so it's tagged with style. And more interestingly, since we're talking about targeting for men or women, we want to be able to tag the content so that it is known that it is appropriate for a female. And we can see that that's done here. If we look at another article, let's look at the one for male styles here. We can see that similarly, we have the same metadata, but it's tagged for a guy. Okay, so the first part of the puzzle is going through your content and tagging that content with metadata that we can use then to drive a personalization experience. That could be something like taxonomy of different types. It could also be things like dates and other fields that are interesting to the targeting rules. Now, once we have that, we then have to apply some targeting rules to the content. And that can be done with out-of-the-box components in CrafterCMS, like our Groovy scripting APIs or our open search capabilities. Or it could include external services like enterprise-level personalization platforms. So in this simple example, everything is done inside the site with Groovy and open search. And I'm just going to show you a little piece of that. So if we go to the options up here and then click Edit Controller, what we can see for this homepage here is that we're getting the search helper and the profile utils. And we're then using the profile utils to pull the segment. And then we're using the search helper to pass in some information about the user and get back articles that, in this case, featured articles that we can then place on the homepage. And importantly, you can see that in this helper here, we are passing the segment that comes from the profile tools, which helps us know, do we know who the user is? And if we do, what segment do they fall into? So that's how we are finding the content and targeting the content to the right audience. Now, as an author, I need to be able to preview that. So for an author here, we can go over to the audience targeting section and we get a panel here with different options. So we see segment and name and so on. And if we fill out name, it's just so that it can show us what this would look like here. We could say that our name is, say, Russ. Apply that, and we'll see that it says Howdy Russ now. And then I can scroll down. And if I want to look at how the articles look, if I know what my segment is, for example, so here we see male and female styles. Well, I'm a guy, so I'm going to apply the guy segment, and now you can see I only see articles targeted towards male users. If I wanted to see what that would look like for a different user, I can choose gal, for example. And then I see similarly only articles targeted towards females. And then again, I can go back to the anonymous view. Now, the options here, like the metadata, are not hard-coded into CrafterCMS. You can have any amount of metadata. You can have any kind of rules that you like in the controllers that we looked at, or any integrations that you like. And you can set this tool up to allow your authors to pick the various segments and so on that make sense for them when they want to preview what the site would look like before they publish, so that they can properly review the content in the context that it's meant to be shown. So I hope this has been a helpful, quick overview of audience targeting. Thank you for your time.